Good morning vlog. We are in Newport Beach, kind of a last minute little trip. We came down because it's Mother's Day tomorrow. Did a little Q&A. I'm gonna answer some of these while I'm waiting. Hi honey.
Nice blade. Susie, Sally, Jimbo, and Billy. Bladers.
Coffee time. Good morning vlog. We are in Newport Beach, kind of a last minute little trip. We came down because it's Mother's Day tomorrow. So we're here at a new hotel in Newport Beach called Vea, V-E-A. It's right by Fashion Island if you're familiar with Newport. And it's a pretty cool hotel for Orange County. We got here late last night. We had dinner in the room and just kind of fell asleep. This morning we slept until 11:30, which is crazy. We never do that. We never sleep in, so it felt pretty good. And we had nowhere to be, nothing to do. So Austin is at the golf range right now. I didn't go with him. I had some work to catch up on. So I did those things, got some work done, and now he's on his way back and we're gonna head to the pool. My mom is on her way to Orange County from Mexico. So a little background of my family and kind of where I'm from and what Orange County has to do with us, me and my family. So I was born and raised here. Born and raised here in Laguna Beach. And my parents were raised here. Orange County is really home, so. Hello? The maid. She's like, gosh, all you guys do is sleep. So, as I was saying, born and raised here in Laguna Beach. My dad was also raised here in Laguna Niguel, and my mom actually grew up in Monarch Bay, which is the neighborhood that I grew up in. So, Orange County's home. When I moved to New York, eventually, my parents sold the home we grew up in, which was in Monarch Bay, and my dad stayed here in Orange County for a few more years. Eventually, he sold his home and moved full-time to Kauai, which is why we were there, but also Kauai has always been a part of our lives. My dad surfed at a professional level when he was much younger and still surfs every single day. Kauai's been home to him before and has always been like a second home to us, and so he's there full-time now with my older brother Matt, who also lives there on the island. And then my mom, same thing. She sold her home here in Orange County a couple years ago. She bought a home in Sun Valley, Idaho, and then also they have a home in Mexico, in La Ventana. So it's all very confusing, but essentially Orange County is kind of like our home, our hub. My little brother still lives here, and obviously like aunts and cousins and all of our family, friends. I mean, it's a small community, so we still have a lot of family here, but my parents don't live here full time at all anymore. Everyone passes through, so someone's always in town, and we are always like having a reason to be down here, whether it's just to visit Chase, my little brother who lives here full time, or my mom will be coming from Mexico through California back to Idaho. Dad likes to come into town every few months. So it's always going to be home. There's just no home base here anymore. Yeah. So anyways, we are here for Mother's Day, but because my mom and Miguel are driving back from Mexico, which they do, and I hate that they do it. It's, as we know, Mexico is just not sturdy. There's always something happening, and they drive from Baja. So it's a 2-day drive through Mexico. I don't love it. I try to talk her out of it every single time, but they do it. And they do it because they have so many toys, and you know, Miguel has a huge Mercedes van. Essentially, they lock up the Baja house this time of year in spring, and then they won't go back in fall because it's just too hot. It's also not wind season, which is supportive of the sports they play, or the sports they do, which is, you know, wind foiling and kiting and all things ocean. So this time of year through summer tends to not be the right season, so they stay in Sun Valley, Idaho, but they'll come through California. So we're here waiting for them. Miguel got the flu the day before they were supposed to leave, and he was super sick, so they were stuck in Mexico a few more days, and now they're on the road. They were supposed to be here all weekend and celebrate kind of Mother's Day all weekend. Now we'll just unfortunately see them Sunday, which is fine. We're here. Austin's brother, the baby, and Steph, Austin's brother's fiance, are on their way here to stay at the same hotel, and it's just a nice little getaway. We do these almost every weekend. I did a little Q&A on my Instagram earlier in the week, and so I thought I'm just gonna answer some of these while I'm waiting for Austin. Let's do it. Okay. Have you ever played Cypress? No, I have not played Cypress. I have family members there, so hopefully one day we get to play Cypress, but I haven't played it. I've been, but not played the course. How is life going? Are you single or married? I'm not married, but you guys know Austin. So no, I'm not single. How's the golf swing going lately? Golf is so up and down. I'm consistent with it, but I feel like every week there's something new I'm struggling with or fixing. For the most part, I'm progressing, and I'm proud of where I've come. For those that don't know, I've golfed for 1.5 years, and golf is an extremely hard sport. I'm an athlete, and so a lot of people like me that pick up golf or go into it later in their lives assume like, I'll get this. It's not like learning how to play tennis or soccer or really any other sport. Golf is a league of its own. In my opinion, that's really why every professional athlete plays golf. High-level executives, CEOs really play the sport because it's the toughest sport you can play. So with all that being said, yeah, it's tough. And I wish I could jump through all these beginner phases that I go through, and I get frustrated, but that's just not golf. Golf takes so much commitment and so much time, but it's also so rewarding. So how's my golf swing going? It's going. I'm committed to it. I'm focused and laser focused on the sport, and play as much as I can and practice, and I try to put more structure behind my practice. So it's going. We're getting there. That's the best answer I can give. What was your degree in? I studied architecture. I've talked about this before, but I am an artist. I've painted my whole life. I think that's what I thought I would do full-time professionally for my whole life. I knew I wanted to study something more business related, and that's usually what people say about architecture and why they got into it. It feels like some structure behind being an artist, but that's not necessarily the case. Architecture school beat me up. God, it's tough. Anyone that's been through it knows it's, I mean, you feel like a scientist a philosopher. It's just so many things they make you really become expert at. And I loved schooling, but I didn't continue to be a practicing architect. I worked for a couple firms through school, and I did do some hands-on work, but it was hard for me as an artist. Something artists struggle with commonly is like, if I'm being told to create or told what to create, my ability seems to completely go away. I have to have that entire freedom and liberty to create when I want and what I want. So it's really hard to structure that. I think that's a very common thing that artists and creative and anyone in any creative field struggles with. It is tough. So I studied architecture, finished that, and went on into tech, later in my life, but I'm not a practicing architect today. What is the weakest and strongest part of your golf game? Right now, the strongest part of my golf game is probably my irons or my short game. I've spent a lot of time really trying to get chipping down and just anything around the green, because I hadn't in the beginning or for a long time, and it's really the way to lower your score. So I've been really practicing chipping and just those shorter distance shots, and I feel pretty confident in them and in my clubs there. My weakest part of my game right now is probably my drive. It's not consistent. I don't hold on to any distance for very long. I'll lose it completely. I get really frustrated with it. So right now, that's probably the weakest point, but it's been strong before. Like I've said in this vlog before, like my average is 240 usually, but right now it's not. It's all over the place. So short game is strong right now for me, and my driving needs some work. How do you stay fit? I do a lot. Like, I'm a very active person, and I think that's number one for anyone. Like, you just got to keep moving. We need to move our bodies. I obviously do a lot of computer work. I have my whole career has been computer based, so I definitely, most importantly, won't sit for an exaggerated period of time doing anything. I like to move my body, whether it's breaking up a business work day by just taking a few 15-minute walks every few hours. So that's number one, is just like be moving, be active. And it becomes easier if you're not an active person that like enjoys movement and walking and feels like they're lazy. It's usually the case is that you just need to start slowly incorporating it into your life, and it becomes habit and you crave it. So that's number one, is just staying active. But beyond that, I do a lot of Pilates. I do a lot of kind of low weight, high interval strength training. I love lifting weights and doing body weight work and being in the gym on that side of things. So I do a lot of weightlifting and strength training and conditioning. That also takes some time to enjoy, and if it's not something you do, you'll be sore for a bit. But I think strength training is so important for anyone, but especially like people in their 30s or beyond. There's so many benefits on a hormonal level, on a physical level, on an aesthetic level. Weightlifting should just be priority for a lot of people. Like I think a lot of girls especially worry, I'm gonna get bulky, I'm gonna get big. It's just not the case unless you're lifting an extreme amount of weight, and that's your goal. It's not gonna happen. Like, I'm lean, I'm toned, but I'm not bulky by any means. And golf, we golf a lot, so that's another form of movement. Golf's obviously not a workout, but we're out there and we're moving and we're standing and we're swinging and walking a lot of the time. So golf is another form of movement. So those are kind of the big, and I hike. I hike a lot. I hike a little bit less now that I golf, because those are two kind of very time consuming things, but love to hike. So those are the things that I probably do the most. It's hiking, Pilates, golf, and weightlifting. And I kind of design each week differently, but they always include some form of all of those things and just daily movement. Got to keep moving. What are you passionate about? I'm an extremely passionate person. I think I drive Austin a little crazy. And I have many people in my life have said this before. Like, I always am saying, this is my favorite thing. This is my favorite place. Oh my God, I love this so much. You know, I'm always telling people this is my favorite thing. That's my favorite. This is my favorite. And that drives Austin crazy. But I love things. I get really excited about anything that I like a little. I feel like I love it and I want all of it. So I'm passionate about a lot of things. But art, being an artist, golfing, technology, movement, health, life, kindness, Star Wars, cooking, my family, my loved ones, my friends, 80s music, 90s music, 80s nostalgia, thing that makes Austin special. So many things. Something that Austin does that is really special is he leaves me handwritten notes all the time. Almost every day when I wake up, there's a note on my coffee or in my computer or on the door. And they're not just little notes. He takes the time and writes me the most beautiful love notes. And he knows how much they mean to me. I'm a very nostalgic person and I save everything. So I've got stacks of notes since when we first met. What's the funniest thing you did recently? We joined a new gym recently. The gym that I love, that I've used for years, is under renovation. So we joined a new gym and I went to a class. It was like the 5th class I've been to at this gym. Got Austin to come with me. He was just gonna work out at the gym and I was gonna go to the class. And I get in the class and the woman is like 80 years old and everyone coming in, it was very clear to me that it was like a class for older people. And it was a step class, so I just thought it was gonna be like, you know, a step class with weights, but it was basically an hour of me doing the Charleston with a bunch of 80, 90-year-old women. And it was so cute. And I couldn't leave because once, you know, I had gotten in there and realized everyone was in the class and they were excited that I was there. And there was just no way I could leave and break their hearts. But so Austin got to watch me from the window in the gym do the Charleston to a Titanic soundtrack for an hour. That was pretty funny. Are you Swedish? I am Native American, Swedish, Irish, and I think a little German. My mom's side is the Cherokee Native American side, and dad's the Irish and Swedish and German, I think. Do you want children? Yes, I want 3. Favorite music? I listen to a lot of classic rock, a lot of 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and that's kind of where I like draw my line. I also like some current like alternative rock, some like funk and psychedelic music, but for the most part I listen to a lot of 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. I love too many artists to name, but most of the music I listen to is somewhat old. And I like multiple genres as well. I like some reggae. There's a fair amount of reggae that I love. Like I said, classic rock. I love jazz, so much jazz. And the list goes on. Favorite trip ever? Maybe Fiji with my family when I was younger. We used to travel a lot of surf trips because everyone surfs in my family. Fiji is a special place if you get the opportunity to go. Besides that, there's been so many. Mexico with Austin and my family earlier this year. Love getting to Hawaii to see Dad. Peru was really high up there for me, being in the Amazon for the first time. Hi, honey.
Hey, honey. What are you doing?
I was just answering questions. We're gonna have some lunch and go to the pool because everyone that we're supposed to be here with is not here. But that's okay. We're gonna go to the pool and we're going to lay out, maybe play some cards by the pool, jacuzzi, and have some lunch. Let's go to the pool. off to dinner with Adam and Stephanie and Gabriel, the baby. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it and then I'm gonna throw it at you. I'm gonna throw it at the Kellen. 2, 3.
I'll do it. One try.
Oh! It wasn't on the track. That was good. Alright, guys. Nice blade. Susie, Sally, Jimbo, and Billy. Bladers.